Finally, man. We're here. Yeah, we've been talking about this for how long now? 2 years?
The podcast?
Almost, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think just before the craze really started, you sensed a need. You thought this is something that we should really get into. And but I think it's the right timing now. But
it's kind of mushrooming now, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Because we will be the first to have our own podcast, and I feel it is extremely relevant right now.
Cool, absolutely.
We've been talking about this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And 8 months ago, we were ready to launch, and then
the pandemic hit.
COVID-19. And,
But look, like what you just said now is very important. It's like, it's the right time, because now is where you need to engage with people. You need to share your thoughts, experiences.
Absolutely.
Because
and you need to do it like this, in different ways, so that your voice is heard.
Correct.
We have more than 32 offices around the world. We want to be closer to our partners. We want to be closer to our clients.
Yeah, connecting people. We want to connect people also.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2 years in the making of a podcast, but let's not forget the making of CNB.
Yeah.
How long has it been? Okay, this year marks
since 2005.
So this year marks our 15th year.
Yeah. Wow.
It marks 15 years of CNB. It marks 15 years of us working together, because we started together, and it's amazing to see the transformation. We were just talking.
Do you remember how it all started? How it all started?
Yeah. Oh, look, what I remember is actually you were my client. So I was servicing a bundle of clients for you, in a different company. You were in Publinet, the mother company, which we all belong to now, and you were outsourcing services, communication. I was in PR. You were in advertising, of course, and you saw the potential. You saw something that you didn't really know PR, but once you got to know about it, you fell in love with it immediately.
Absolutely.
It's been a love story between you and PR.
And I was servicing a client of ours, which is still a client now, Palma Real Estate, and they were in the same building that we were in.
In Oud Metha.
In Oud Metha and
Bar Dubai.
Next to the Lamsi Plaza.
Sultan Business Center.
SBC.
Office number?
113.
Oh my God, 113.
That's and what happened
where it all started.
He wanted to move. The same week, you and I were talking, and that was the only vacant office in the building.
It's meant to be.
It was meant to be.
CMB was meant to be.
It was meant to be at 113.
At 113, yeah. Cicero and Bernays. Now we're talking about the beginnings, okay?
You don't know.
I think we started without a name for a few months.
We started without a name. We didn't even have a license.
Without
a name, without an identity. We were just working based on, our relationship with our clients.
Yeah.
We actually had clients. We had some good names, and they trusted us so much. They're like, no problem. We'll sign with Publinet until you guys, form. Of course, life was much simpler back then. Anyway, so. The name Cicero and Bernays has a lot of drama, connected to it. But I'll just give you the nice and simple stuff. The team that was working on this project, the writer was called Benjamin. Do you remember Benjamin?
Of course, I remember Benjamin.
What a gentleman!
Wow, yeah.
He's a very good friend. We were still in touch. So he went back and forth for a long time, and when we picked the name. It was actually, the exercise was done in my house, sitting and researching a lot about PR. I wanted it to be a story. It was very important for me to make it interesting. I wanted the name to be to start a dialogue, to spark an interesting dialogue. So I was like, Ahmed, this is the most important part. Put in, even if it takes a year, make sure the name is something different, something that's going to, act like a breath of fresh air for this industry. Because at that time, PR was looked at as very formal,
secondary,
boring,
also.
Very boring.
Yeah.
So, digging deep, found out that Cicero, who was, of course, everybody knows, a very famous orator at the Roman times,
yeah.
Roman Empire. He was labeled as the father of public relations. The guy was a genius, you know, excellent at public speaking, you know, master of spin and manipulation, propaganda, and so on and so forth. Centuries later, our friend Edward Bernays comes in. And if you're going to ask me, why not Lee? I'll tell you, because it just sounds better, you know. Yeah, they're both unbelievable, you know, gurus, an inspiration to anyone. To date, they are an inspiration. But just Bernays sounded much better. Can you imagine if it was Cicero and Lee?
Yeah, CNL. No,
I think Bruce Lee just conquered the league.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I read about Bernays and the effort, you know, I wasn't a PR. Yani PR was something that was introduced to me. I was more of an advertising person. So yes, I knew about Bernays, but I didn't know what he really accomplished. So when I read about him, I was very impressed. So I was like, it's perfect. From Cicero to Bernays. I dropped the S because I was scared that someone would come and sue me later on. But yani, from Cicero to Bernays. And that was the story. And then from a design perspective, not today's logo, because today's logo, it was facelifted, yes. But it was, Cicero was written in a Roman, you know, Roman font. And Bernays was a modern. Font.
Well, look, your whatever you aim to do, it worked because three things happened. Number one, it was an icebreaker. Always, when you go in, there's always how do you pronounce Cicero?
Sure.
There's Cicero, there's Cicero, there's Cicero, you know, Cicero. So that always caused some sort of conversation. Then I remember one aim also you had, which you didn't mention. We were a small agency, a startup made up of 4 people, in actually nestled and tucked in our office between 2 also very big renowned agencies at that time, and like you said, PR was a bit, you know, it was kind of dry, but it was also seen as a multinational industry.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you come in with the local brand, and we are very proud of being local. We are so proud. But we said to ourselves, you said to yourself, for us to be able to get business and to be taken seriously, unfortunately, we had to give ourselves a bit of an international name. People thought we were from New York. People thought we were based in the US. People thought we were based in the UK.
Yeah.
But, you know, we went with it. We wanted to actually eventually become CMB. Right? Because that's easier. So having said that, with regards to CMB, there was also a difficulty with certain media. When we used to send them invitations or they used to call us, they never used to know how to pronounce Cicero and Bernays. And we had so many crazy different ways of saying our name. Actually, I remember a journalist who had a lot of difficulty in saying our name. And so he decided to come up with a name that is going to be easier for him to remember, and khalas, you know, he's going to associate it with us. Instead of calling us Cicero and Bernays, he called us Spaghetti Bolognese. And you know, if he hears, he'll know who he is. He still does that every once in a while, you know, when we look back.
Man. Listen, I had like even the board of probably that they used to get so frustrated
with
they're like
the way it's so
we can't pronounce the name.
You know, it's so unique. But alhamdulillah, 15 years later,
alhamdulillah.
People know Cicero and Bernays. People know CMB. People know Cicero when you just say Cicero. So that's, I think, the aim and the objective. Alhamdulillah, it worked. So yeah. So we spoke about the beginnings. We spoke about the name. We spoke about the office, the first office.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to talk about?
I guess the most important thing. Our clients.
Oh.
we couldn't
have started survive with our clients.
We couldn't have started without, you know, our amazing clients.
Yeah.
You know, do you remember I remember the first press release that was written.
I remember for sure Hyundai was one of our firsts.
Hyundai. It was the first.
So that's the first press release? Yeah. Of course.
And our first press conference.
Oh my God, I can't remember that one.
I remember it. It was amazing. You and the team managed to get 90 plus editors.
Yeah.
And the client,
those were the days.
The client.
Yeah.
90 plus journalists and editors. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You know, but going back to our clients, our first client was Hyundai. Our second client was Sahara Center in Sharjah.
Look, there's something very important here. Sahara Center is a very important part. Why? Because Hyundai was part of Publinet. and they trusted us with their PR.
Yes, it's true.
And so is another client. But Sahara was the first we pitched. We actually went. It was our first ever pitch as CMB. And I remember it was there's butterflies in your stomach. We went, I still remember the conference room we sat in, one of those big intimidating conference rooms.
Beautiful.
Alhamdulillah, they liked what they heard, I guess. And
I guess the first client was Hyundai. And the first official client was Sahara Center.
Correct.
But also, I think you forgot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We had
managed 3 clients the first month.
Yeah.
Baskin Robbins.
Of course. Of course. Oh yeah.
Alhamdulillah, by the way, 2 out of the 3 that we started with are still with us.
What a story.
Alhamdulillah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, retaining a client for such a long time, in all the...
Such an honor.
It is an honor. Absolutely. This is what makes
a special thank you note to
absolutely
to these 2 amazing
loyal clients.
Even Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, absolutely.
We miss you.
Yeah. We had some good times.
We'll work together soon.
In 15 years, if we're going to sit and count the, achievements, milestones, happy times, tough times, because there's so much to talk about. Okay, but since we're talking about beginnings, so I want you to still stay in that era. What is one of the most important milestones you feel that we had in the beginnings?
شوف to me milestones, moments, I think there are so many to talk about. Absolutely. From the beginning, from day one.
Yeah, even.
Every pitch was a milestone to me, honestly. Every win was a milestone. Every challenge we faced was a milestone. There was one moment that I felt redefined us, repositioned us, like placed us in the right place with the big boys, And that was when we won the Stevie.
Oh.
Remember that?
Because it's an international award.
We couldn't.
Our first award was international.
It was amazing. Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm not a believer in the whole award ceremonies. When we entered the first award ceremonies, we won 3 golds, and we were like, we did a hat trick.
We had the most awards of the night.
Most awards of the night.
2016,
and we didn't enter out. Anyway, so going back to that moment, Stevie to me I think it was a moment that opened our eyes. I felt like we were so honored, so of course we were so blessed.
Of course.
But we worked on a campaign that was so challenging. I remember visiting Sudan.
Yeah.
I flew into Khartoum.
Yeah.
Had a meeting with a client.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the team for the account.
Yeah.
And we were lucky. We found the right person. She did a great job. She hired the right people. It was a long campaign. The exercise was draining.
In remote areas of Sudan.
It was bless them, the Blue Nile Dairy company.
Correct.
Capo was the brand.
Correct.
See, I'm not going to get into a lot of details, but the moment you can find everything online, research Blue Nile Dairy, Cicero, Capo, you'll find all the information. But that moment to me was a very special moment I hold very dear to my heart.
Because it was like only 3 years, I think, into our existence.
3 years.
And, you're absolutely right. Because when you said playing with the big boys, because, there was a bit of intimidation in the industry. And we were doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. We were fantastic. We were so proud. We were so passionate and we had so much fire. But that's when, I think, the moment when we said to ourselves, hey, wait a minute. Now, there's nothing to fear. Even going after big clients, big names, and this is what gave us the sort of the push and the confidence.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Here it is. Remember?
Oh wow,
this is it. Yeah, there it is. You're right. Capo, Sudan, Cicero and Bernays, Public Relations, Best Communications Campaign, 2008, a Gold Stevie Award.
Yeah, and I think
where were you? Where did you go?
I think we were one of the first. We were the first PR agency in the Middle East to win a Stevie. I think
it's beautiful. Where did you pick it up from?
I didn't go. The client actually went. The client flew to Germany. Got it. He picked it up, shipped it to us with a thank you note because we couldn't fly that time. We had.
This was the first award, and alhamdulillah now we have a whole display of awards and many more inshallah to come. We spoke about one of the milestones, but with every industry, with every venture, With every journey, there are challenges. So talk to us about that, or talk to me.
You know, you're asking me a question, and because we've been together from day one, I think you already know the answer. See, challenges, we face a lot of challenges, and I don't think today we're facing one of the biggest challenges, you and I. Inshallah, we'll get over it. I have no doubt. But a challenge that really changed us both, and I'm going to refresh your memory, was the credit crunch, that 2009 crisis. I think that was hard for us because we were on a roll. We had won the Monarch group of hotels. We had the Ritz-Carlton that we remember. We were doing great. We were doing roadshows in London. We had BlackBerry. We won BlackBerry for the region.
Yeah, we launched BlackBerry. I went to London to the World Travel Market to launch.
We had Baskin Robbins. We had a nice roster of clients. And then come 2009, and everything was just like on hold. Every single client just froze everything. People panicked. The city just, went on a halt. The world, but Dubai,
But we got hit because we're a major financial hub.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all because of this Madoff dude.
So.
I remember those days. Yeah, you're right. This is 2009?
2009.
9, right? So again, 4 years. You're building a brand, and you're in industry, and we're in it, and we're 4 years, and like you said, we're just getting into second gear.
4 years.
And it's being hit after only starting up for 4 years is a big challenge. You're absolutely right.
It was a challenge, but also it was very interesting because I remember when it happened, you and I were looking. We wanted to just attack clients and then we looked, and everybody was like shying away from government. At that point in time, everybody was like, Dubai is going to fall. Of course, Dubai only proved itself. Alhamdulillah.
There were those fake stories of
people are
leaving their cars in the airport. We never saw that. That never happened.
It was crazy. And then everybody was betting against Dubai. People were saying Dubai is going to fall. You know what we did, you and I? Remember?
Yeah.
We went.
It was the silver lining.
And we signed Dubai Land Department. Land department.
Exactly.
Real estate.
During the real estate crisis, we signed with the real estate regulator.
We signed with them, and everybody was like, "You're not going to get paid. You guys are idiots." And alhamdulillah,
8 years.
Today.
8 years.
No, it was in 2009.
9.
Yeah, more than 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. We got them on a retainer 8 years ago, but we were working with them.
Since 2009.
Since 2009.
2010,
Imagine. That was the first account that we got after the crisis from a government. And then, alhamdulillah, after that came in Dubai culture, came in Wasl, came in...
Working with the government is a discipline by itself.
Absolutely.
Okay, especially in Dubai,
Especially Dubai.
Okay, you have to be so equipped. You have to be so flexible. You have to be so... By the way, one thing also that works...
On the ball.
Not just that.
Passionate.
Listen, it's about the knowing, understanding the values and the actual culture of this country. I think one thing that's, alhamdulillah, also worked for us is the fact that you and I were born and raised here. So we are from this.
Yes.
We feel right.
We understand the culture. We understand how Dubai functions.
Yeah, and that's why, working with the government is a challenge by itself, but it's such an exciting, exercise. And that's why, like you said, Dubai culture now, Dubai economic department now, Dubai Judicial Institute. We worked with DIWA. We worked with Dubai Municipality. You name it, RTA. So, this is a great testament
amazing, honestly.
To the city, number one. Alhamdulillah, they came out of that crisis and they managed to really, really create a stronger economy. Now, okay, of course, there's a pandemic we're all going through.
No. But again, still, alhamdulillah, we're very busy.
Where were we and where we are now? 6 months later, alhamdulillah, we're back in business. And
we just pitched to Ain Dubai.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
if we win it,
look, what
everybody listening to this,
what this does is two things. First of all, it like you said, the industry now we're getting pitches, so that's a good boost.
Of course.
But also they're launching. Do you remember what they did in the face of the financial crisis? They launched the tallest man-made structure in the world.
Oh my God.
And right now, in the middle of the pandemic, they're going to launch the largest ever Ferris wheel in the world. This is what Dubai does. We're here to witness it. We're here to support it.
Agreed.
We're here to promote it. and hopefully we'll be here to help the city and this country to promote more and more of these great achievements, inshallah.
I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, we'll do it together again. Or
Phase 3.
Phase 3, inshallah. Yeah, Phase 3. You're right. I think we ran out of time. But look, it was great talking to you, catching up.
As usual.
There's so many more stories to talk about, I'm sure. I hope we can do this again.
Of course.
But like you said in the beginning, the whole point of this podcast, the InFact podcast, is to share knowledge, to talk to people, to converse, to engage. This is what we want to do. I encourage anyone who has anything to say, anything to share, any knowledge that can be beneficial to anyone. This is what we want to do. We want to hear from these people. We want to share our own
We
expertise.
literally would love for you to be our guest.
Yeah, anyone can be our guest.
Anybody can come in.
Yeah.
Be our guest.
I mean, you can talk to me, you can talk to Ahmed, you can choose both of us. So no, look, the CMB podcast, InFact, we're so proud. This was the pilot.
Yes.
We hope you liked it, and hopefully many more interesting topics to talk about.
Inshallah.
See you guys soon, and
God bless.